I want to talk for a couple minutes about masking symptoms of an ailment or an injury or a disease, which is different from treating symptoms, which is what homeopathy does. So with homeopathic remedies, they treat the symptom, not the underlying cause. It's a different way. It's a different paradigm of working with illness. And I love homeopathy, and that's great, but I'm not a homeopath, so that's not what I'm talking about. But I recently worked with a dog who's suffering from anxiety. She's a rescue. Actually, no, the manager of the place where she was rescued. And the human was giving her meds. I don't know which ones they were. I don't remember. And like for a really long time. And so I looked it up and I'm like, no, this is meant to be given periodically or and for a short period of time. I'm like, no, she still needs it. The person says, I'm like, okay. And I'm remembering a time years and years and years ago when I first became a Reiki practitioner. And I also do neuromuscular retraining, which is a type of movement reeducation that's based on the Feldenkrais method of movement reeducation for humans. And I was at a barn. I had my horse at a barn, and the woman, the owner's dog, was just in terrible shape. She was in so much pain. He was in so much pain he was unable to walk. And he was on that drug, Rimadyl, that they give for arthritic pain. And the dog had terrible diarrhea, had stopped eating, and couldn't walk. She was like ready to put him down. And I said, well, can I work with him? And so I worked with him in the house. He couldn't even, he was in the kitchen, like pressed up against the cabinets. I had to like he couldn't move. And I worked with him a total of 3 times. But after the first time I worked with him, I barely touched him. I worked with him doing the neuromuscular training and Reiki. And she called me the next day and said that he was standing up and walking around. And then like after, I'm not going to forget, I did a second and third session in very close proximity. And he ended up, one day she called me and she said, he came down to the barn. He's doing chores with me again and he's eating and he doesn't have diarrhea. I'm like, isn't that awesome? Doesn't always happen that fast, but it did. And so she started slowly taking him off the Rimadyl. And then about, I don't know, a few weeks later, a month maybe, I'm not remembering. It wasn't a very long period of time. He was doing really well. I mean, it's just arthritis. It wasn't a death sentence. He just needed to be able to move more freely and effectively, and that's what the neuromuscular retraining did. And the Reiki is also, in my experience, good for inflammation. So she called me crying because she had just lost her dog. They just put him down because he'd crashed. His kidneys crashed. And she said the vet told her that it was from the Rimadyl at the ER vet. I'm like, yeah. It says right on the package. I didn't say that to her then, but I'm saying to myself, it says right on the package not to give this long term. But vets do it all the time. So I'm just saying, just in the anxiety meds, they have an effect on your body and you're not dealing with the underlying anxiety, which can very often be addressed with Reiki and with animal communication, talking to them about what happened and why specifically it will be okay now. And I know what I'm talking about. Oh, he's under the desk. Because I have a dog who was rescued from an animal hoarder, came to me when he was 7. I mean, a basket case. And he still has issues with anxiety 5 years later, but nothing like they were. It was Reiki, 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 really. And speaking to him, initially he didn't want to talk about it. But lately I have a video a few back called Left by the Side of the Road. If you're interested in anxious animals, that was a breakthrough for us. So it can be slow going, but anyway, I never put him on drugs, anti-anxiety drugs. I tried CBD oil. It didn't do anything. I tried a few flower essences that were made for him specifically that helped a little bit, but not so much. So you experiment, but with things that aren't going to like wreck your immune system, And it's like people taking Prilosec and other brands of acid reducer. Right on the package, it says not to take it for more than 7 days. It says it right on the package. But you see ads on television telling you, take it before a meal, take it. And the implication is take it all the time and eat what you want. Yeah, and destroy your gut. So, it's malpractice as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that, especially for anxiety, there's reasons. There's reasons for fear, anxiety. My little guy had PTSD. He hasn't had an attack in 2 years. So, and again, it was Reiki. So, look into other alternatives is all I'm suggesting. Just be really careful with the pharmaceuticals. There's awesome pharmaceuticals. Vaccines, I'm a proponent. I'm not for all of them. There's a million vaccines, but I'm a proponent for vaccines for life-threatening illnesses. And there's certain antibiotics. Yes, please. Yes, I will take antibiotics. Sometimes pain meds. Oh, yeah, sometimes you need pain meds after surgery for a little while. But, this long-term use of pharmaceuticals they stay right on the package. They're dangerous. So I just wanted to bring your awareness to that. I get very upset with professionals not telling people, okay, use this for a while, then try something else. So, okay, that's it. It's my little rant for the day. Phew, watch that stuff. It'll rip you up, tear up your stomach for sure. Okay, Pam Sorellis, Winged Horse Healing. You can learn more about me at my website, wingedhorsehealing.com. Take care.